Welcome to MLC TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Matthias Ayodiji Peter. First, the headlines. President MUHAMMADU Buhari pledges support as Nigeria hosts major cultural, tourism and literary events. Governor Bello inaugurates KOGI State Boundary Committee. German diplomat in Brazil arrested, accused of killing husband. And Team Nigeria on Sunday breaks Commonwealth Games record, grabs 2 gold and bronze. Now the news in detail. The President MUHAMMADU Buhari on Sunday expressed delight that Nigeria is attracting positive international attention as a country that promotes media freedom and freedom of expression. He said this was premised on the government's understanding of the important roles that information literacy and media education play in sustainable development. According to a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, Buhari said this while pledging his full support for 3 major international events scheduled to hold in Nigeria in October and November 2022. The events include the 2022 UNESCO Global Media Information Literacy Week in Abuja in October, the first Global Conference on Cultural Tourism and Creative Industry in Lagos, as well as the second Global Association of Literary Festivals Conference Abeokuta in November. The statement titled President Buhari pledges support as Nigeria hosts major cultural tourism and literary events read in part, welcoming the decision by UNESCO, United Nations World Tourism Organization, and the Global Association of Literary Festivals to grant Nigeria the right to host these separate historic events. The President assures all relevant stakeholders and participants of the warmth and hospitality of the people of Nigeria. On the first Global Conference on Cultural Tourism and Creative Industry, the President said the rapid growth of Nigeria's film, fashion, music and ICT sector and the increase in international appeal and acceptance will continue to spur government to devote more resources to the sector. He noted that the $100 million redevelopment of the National Theatre Lagos into a world-class creative park is also ongoing following the handover of the facility to CBN and the Bankers Committee. Land and boundary dispute has been fundamental issues in human history. Its resolution has also been the evolution of different mechanization. In KOGI State, that shares boundary with 9 others, including the FCT, Governor Bello has inaugurated a 15-man state boundary committee chaired by the Deputy Governor Edward Onoja, tasking them to work towards the lasting resolution of all lingering boundaries concerns. Our reporter has more.
Members of the committee are State Commissioner of Police Edward Ebuka, Commissioner for Information and Communications Kingsley Femi Fanwo, Commissioner for Finance, Budget and Economic Planning Asiru Idris, Attorney General, Commissioner for Justice Mohammed Sani Ibrahim, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs Ozigi Salam Mididat. Others are Director General Bureau of Lands Nazir Ochi, State Surveyor Mustafa Salihu, State Controller General of Customs Musa Yunusa, Tosi Ajayi, Director General SSS. Also added are His Royal Majesty Matthew Alaji Opalua, Adauda Mokailu, Kogi West Senatorial District, Alhaji Seed and Abdurrahman, Kogi Central Senatorial District, Lawrence Eguma, Kogi East Senatorial District, with Deputy Governor Edward Onoja as the chairman. During the inauguration event at the banquet hall of the Government House, Lokoja, the governor said that setting up such a committee was his responsibility in a bid to maintain peace and security, saying he is aware of how virulent a boundary conflict could be. Governor Bello tasked the committee to work towards the lasting resolution of all lingering boundary disputes.
We all know that boundary is one of the very notorious issues that usually cause conflict amongst the people, especially within states as it exists today. We have the highest number of boundaries. If I should cast a mind back, you know the notorious incident that normally happened between Kogi State and Anambra at the axis of Ibaji and the boundary with Edo State as well, boundary with FCT, boundary with Niger State and the rest. We have been able to come up with our own initiative to maintain peace amongst us.
Knowing well that some boundaries disputes in Nigeria have resulted in so many killings and destruction of properties, Governor Bello said his administration will not allow any disputes to degenerate into such before he will provide the best practice to resolve disputes of land and boundaries, hence constituting the committee, drawing its legal backing from Section 24, Subsection 1 of the National Boundary Commission Act of 2006, which empowered state government in that regard.
However, after the stakeholders meeting that was held in FCT, between FCT and KOGI states, on the 22nd of June this year, we now have to revert back to the Act, the National Boundary Commission Act. We have been leading by example in terms of peace and other good governance. So, and I trust and I believe that my deputy, Chief Edward David Onoja, will chair this committee and come up with flying colors.
The chairman of the committee and the deputy governor of Kogi State, Edward Onoja, thanked the governor for carefully selecting them. He promised they would deliver on their mandate.
With this inauguration, myself as chairman and the entire members of this Kogi State Boundary Committee wish to appreciate you, thank you, and also assure you, as you have charged, that we would use our wealth of wisdom and experience to navigate the naughty waters that may arise and exist amongst our boundary states that are about 9 plus the FCT.
Onoja said their first task is the delineation between the state and federal capital territory, which would commence immediately and span for 21 days. The governor revealed that a director general amongst the civil servants would be appointed into the committee. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has disclosed that his administration paid an extensive amount in terms of compensation to residents affected by the construction of the state's rail mass transit Red Line project. The governor stated this on Sunday, according to a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Boyega Akosile, during an inspection of the ongoing construction activities around the Red Line project. Sanwo-Olu was joined on the tour by his deputy, Dr. Abafemi Amzat, and members of the cabinet added that the transport infrastructure being developed by the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority will have the capacity to transport over 500,000 passengers daily when it becomes operational in the first quarter of 2023. He said the Red Line is a project conceived and started by their government, which will be delivered in the lifetime of the administration. They have given their commitment to ensure the project is completed by the end of this year, as promised. The governor also stopped at the Motion Terminal to inspect the station and overpass, which stretched between Kayode and Ogomokun Streets, being developed there before proceeding to Yaba and Oyinbo stations. Sanwo-Olu said the construction work on the overpasses was at different stages of completion, but assured that all work will be done by December. The Senate has passed the long-awaited bill to establish the National Commission for the Coordination and Control of the Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons, NATCOM, an offshoot of the National Task Force for the Control of Small Firearms and Light Weapons, NATFORCE, in a move to counter the rising insecurity in the country. The passage of the National Commission Against the Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons Establishment Bill 2022 followed the consideration of a report by the Committee on National Security and Intelligence. The bill is a consolidation of 3 bills, 2 private member bills and 1 from the executive arm of government against the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the country. They are the Nigeria National Commission Against the Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons Establishment Bill 2020 B283, the Nigeria National Commission Against the Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapon Establishment Bill 2020 SB 513, and the National Center for the Coordination and Control of the Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons Establishment Bill 2021 SB 794. Presenting the bill on the floor, Chairman of the committee Ibrahim Gobio, APC, Sokoto East, said the 3 bills seek to provide for the establishment of a government body that will be saddled with combating the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria. Gabriel said the functions of the body shall be in line with Article 24 of the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS Convention on the Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons, which came into force in 2009. Gabriel noted that establishing a commission against the proliferation of weapons stemmed from the need to immediately address the nation's present state of insecurity. Oniman Museum and Gardens in Southeast London has agreed to return 72 Benin bronzes looted from the former British colony now known as Nigeria. This comes amid pressure on European institutions to return artifacts stolen during the colonial era. Also, Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments had earlier this year asked for the looted items to be returned. Part of the items included 12 brass plaques known as Benin bronzes, a brass cockerel altarpiece, ivory and brass ceremonial objects, brass bells, and a key to the King's Palace. According to a statement by the chairman of the museum's board of trustees, Yves Salomon, returning the items is both moral and appropriate. The decision was welcomed by the NCMM Director General, Professor Albert Jani. He said they very much welcome the decision by the trustees of the Oniman Museum and Gardens. Following the endorsement by the Charity Commission, they look forward to a productive discussion on loan agreements and collaborations between the National Commission for Museums and Monuments and the Oniman. It's still MLC TV News Hour. We'll be right back after the short break. Stay with us.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV. Your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. Now on politics. A lawsuit seeking the disqualification of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress (APC), from contesting the 2023 elections for allegedly presenting the forged certificate has been fixed for hearing by Federal High Court in Abuja on September 7. The plaintiffs, who are 4 chieftains of the APC, asked the court for an order disqualifying Tinubu from contesting or participating in the forthcoming 2023 presidential election as a candidate of All Progressive Congress on the grounds of the information is supplied to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as the presidential candidate of the party. In a 33-paragraph affidavit in support of the suit deposed by Ibiang Miko Ibiang, the plaintiff claimed that Tinubu falsely swore to an affidavit in 1999 in which he claimed to have attended St. Paul Aroloya Children's Home School, Ibadan, 1958-64, and Government College, Ibadan, 1965-68, and presented same to INEC. They also claimed that after this turned out to be false, Tinubu allegedly tried to conceal this by refusing to provide any information whatsoever relating to his primary and secondary school in his INEC form for the 2023 election. Justice Ahmed Mohammed, who ruled on the case, ordered that the court process be served on the National Secretariat of APC and that such services shall be deemed as having been properly served on Tinubu. He further adjourned the case to September 7. And now on crime. The magistrate court sitting in Lokoja has granted the 4 suspects, Shaidu Ovurevu, Abara Ismaila, Yakub Ochu, and Abdurrahman Badams, charged for destabilizing the just concluded Adavi House of Assembly PDP primary elections, including attempted murder, threats of life and assault on Sadiq Hassan and others. They were therefore granted bail upon their appearance in court for the second hearing. The court rules that the former and present House of Representative member be present on the 29th August, which is the adjourned date for further hearings. Our reporter Faith Abdul-Ghaffar will cover the proceedings as more.
On the 28th July, they first brought the case of Shehu Ovurevu and 3 others charged for attack on supporters of one of the aspirants for Adawe PDP House of Assembly on the just concluded primary election. Held at Community Secondary School, Ogaminana, in Adawe local government area of Kogi State. The suspects were formally arraigned on 3 accounts of charges barely filed by the Ministry of Justice. All the suspects were granted bail. They were subsequently taken on bail by shorties. former House of Assembly member with landed property within the jurisdiction of the court. The lawyer representing the nominal complainant, Abdulazak Tijani Ahmed, is optimistic that justice shall prevail in the end.
One novelty, interestingly, that came up is the issue of whether if the Ministry of Justice is prosecuting a matter, whether there is need for a private counsel to continue to watch brief of the nominal complainant. And the court equally agreed with our own position that there is nothing in section 211 of the Constitution that bars a private practitioner from watching brief while the case is going on, even if the Ministry of Justice is the one handling it. Because all the functions elicited under that provision, there is none that is in conflict with the counsel watching brief. So you cannot take away what is not taken in the first place. So there was none of the right of the AG is being exercised by the private counsel watching the brief of the nominal complainant. And so there was nothing to take away. And the court equally, they agree with us. Nothing at all to take away. We are not perturbed that they are granted bail. We feel the law will take its course at the right time. But we are happy because at least the standard of the persons expected to act as sureties are not just nobody.
He said the suspect pleaded not guilty after their arraignment and the case was adjourned to 29th and 30th of August. Ahmed urged youth to shun criminal acts and advised them to stay away from thuggery during the forthcoming general election 2023.
I'm sad about the political events, and I feel I want to use the opportunity to say this. The next round of amendment of the Electoral Act should carry this. Political parties should be made to act in accordance with their manifesto so that the issue of that contract can be fulfilled. If I'm voting for you because of so thing, I should expect to get so thing. And they can go further by making it actionable that if the party haven't won an election, goes against the manifesto, you can actually take them to court. Sorry. We cannot do anything criminally defined as a crime and just go scot-free. If not, society becomes a banana republic where anybody can just wake up and either kill you and continue to walk on the streets. So that's why we're here.
The victim who spoke to journalists said the action of the suspects were attempted culpable homicide, amongst others. They describe it as an assault on PDP.
When they reached the venue, what we heard from their leaders, which is Madam, was chase them. And they started throwing stones on us. And everybody has to run for their safety. Fortunately, I was with my leader had been injured and one other person that was caught in the hand. By the same person, they desist from taking law into their hands and let us do the good job. We knew what is good for us to do and what is bad that we're supposed to be deviate from. But unfortunately, I wonder why some people choose to do bad instead of good. So I presently, there's no you can use me for a thuggery because I believe whatever position you are today, I can take the same position, even the one that even more than that tomorrow because of my little knowledge and my exposure. So I advise the PDP National Secretariat to swing action into this issue because we don't want our great party to lose.
This other group that we complain of will involve thuggery to come and harm me. It's not only harm me, they wanted to eliminate my life. As old as I am, they used machete on me. There was no election, primary election.
The next thing we see was stones, most of them holding matches,
that what chased them from their leaders, they started chasing us. We were running helter-skelter in that venue.
We are not going for farming. We are not going for hunting. Because of human being, you put machete in the vehicle and you use the machete on somebody's head. So by whisker, our leader survived it. That was an attempted murder. I'm even surprised with the charges that is being read here now. But however, the law will take its course.
They further charged the state party chairman and other members of the state executives to up their game in building a strong party devoid of bitterness.
To God, up till now, we don't even know what the state chairman is doing in this party, in the state. It is even like we don't have state chairman, because we've not seen him in any PDP activities that we've been doing. So and so on and so forth. We don't know whether they are state chairman, because since that time up till now, nothing has been said in this issue by the party. It did not show up. Nobody has showed up. They believe they can do and undo. So that's why we believe justice should prevail in this matter, so that it should serve as lesson to the kind of leaders that believe they should go on top-rate politics, and the kind of youth that believe they should be using them marvelously, so that we correct ourselves.
PDP need overhauling, especially in KOGI, in Adawi local government and KOGI as a whole. They need overhauling, and without doing it, it's most unfortunate. This is not the way to handle a party.
They advised supporters of politicians, especially youths, not to allow themselves to be used as a tools of destruction, saying thuggery does not pay. Faith Abdulgafar reporting for MLC TV News.
Now on foreign news. Brazilian police say they arrested a German diplomat on Saturday for allegedly killing his Belgian husband at their home in Rio de Janeiro, then attempting to cover up the crime. Owe Ebert-An, a consul at Germany's consulate in Rio de Janeiro, told authorities his husband, Belgian national Walter Henry Maximilian Built, had taken ill Friday night, collapsing and fatally hitting his head. Police said, however, analysis of the body and the couple's apartment in the upscale beach neighborhood of Ipanema found Built had been severely beaten, they said. Reports said Anne would not have diplomatic immunity given the nature of the crime. Police did not immediately respond to a request for comments. Local media reports said Anne, who had been married to Built for 20 years, tried to clean up the scene of death before police arrived. Then told officers his husband has been drinking a lot and taking sleeping pills. Built was a week shy of his 53rd birthday, according to a picture of his ID card published in the Brazilian press. The German embassy in Brasilia did not immediately respond to a request for information. Chad's military ruler Mohamed Idris Deby has signed a peace deal with more than 40 opposition groups aimed at paving the way for a national dialogue later in August. The agreement was signed in Doha after months of mediation by Qatar. But the main rebel group, the Front for Change and Concord in Chad, or FACT, refused to sign the deal. It has insisted Deby exclude himself from elections. He took over the leadership of the country last year after his father, Idris Deby, died while on the front line fighting rebels. Elections are due to take place in October. Now let's join Jonah Malik for our sports updates. Over to you, Jonah.
And on sports updates, Nigerian's Tobi Amoson on Sunday broke Commonwealth Games record to grab gold in the women's 100 meters hurdle final at Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. The Nigerian speed star breasted the tape in 12.30 seconds to successfully defend the title she won in Tokyo, Japan. Amoson beat the Bahamas' Devane Charlton 12.58 seconds and England's Sydney Semba to the top prize. Amoson's victory for her will be some sort of compensation for a disappointing outing in Tokyo last year, where she finished 4th in the final despite being touted to take one of the medals. Nigerian's quartet of Toby and Moson, Favor Ofili, Rosemary Chukwuma and Grace Nwakocha ran a race of their life to clinch another gold in the 4x100 meters women's relay event of the Commonwealth Games on Sunday with a time of 42.10 seconds and also setting an African record. Toby Amoson's lead leg, Ofili down the back straight, Chukwuma's fairy lap, and Nwakocha's anchor blew defending champions England away and made 100 meters and 200 meters champion Elaine Thompson Hera settle for bronze. Although Nigeria coming out top may have surprised some, it was actually a replay of the team's feat that saw them qualify for the final with the fastest qualifying time. Still on sports, the Premier League and others in Europe resumed Friday for 2022-2023 seasons. Arsenal and Crystal Palace opened the Premier League on Friday night with the Gunners coming out with a 2-0 victory. On Saturday, Fulham and Liverpool settled for a 2-2 draw. Bournemouth beat Aston Villa 2-0. Leeds United defeated Wolves by 2-1. Newcastle defeated Nottingham Forest. Tottenham Hotspur defeated Southampton 4-1. And in the late evening game, Chelsea were 1 goal better over Everton at Goodison Park. And on Sunday, Manchester United lost at Old Trafford to Brighton 1-2. Leicester City played out a 2-2 draw with Brentford, while West Ham lost to Manchester City by 2-0. And that's sports update on MLC TV News. I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thanks for the update. And now entertainment news. American reality TV star Kim Kardashian and her boyfriend Pete Davidson have called it quits. According to several reports, the couple called it quits this week. Kim and Pete have decided to just be friends. They have a lot of love and respect for each other, but found out that the long distance and their demanding schedules made it really difficult to maintain a relationship, a source close to the reality star told Page 6. The mother of 4 has been busy co-parenting with her ex-husband Kanye West, while Pete has been traveling because of his job. Kim and Davidson first sparked relationship rumors in October 2021 after they were spotted holding hands at a roller coaster ride during a trip to Knott's Scary Farm in Buena Park, California. This was followed by another private dinner date about a week later. Weeks after, they took trips to Davidson's native New York City and Kardashian's hometown of Los Angeles. However, the relationship faced several setbacks from Kim's ex-husband West. Kanye and Pete have been at loggerheads since Pete hooked up with Kim. There were several reports of Kanye spreading rumors about Pete. Kanye was alleged to have told people that Davidson is a junkie, in addition to threatening that he is going to have the Saturday Night Live star beaten up. Kim and her rapper estranged husband Kanye West filed for divorce in 2021. And in our entertainment news from Africa, Beauty Tukura, one of the housemates from the ongoing season of Big Brother Naija, has been disqualified from the show. The former beauty queen was disqualified from the show on Sunday, August 7, 2022, after receiving the final strike from Biggie. Beauty had on Saturday night had an altercation with her love interest in the house, Groovy. The argument lingered on for hours, with the former beauty queen calling out Groovy over his friendship with one of the housemates, Chomzy. As the situation got intense, she threw her wig and glasses at Groovy. On Sunday afternoon, after reading the rules to the housemate, Big Brother disqualified Beauty for infringing one of the rules. She had previously received a strike a few days earlier for a similar behavior. Beauty joins the list of housemates who have been disqualified from the reality TV show. And that's the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happening within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachi TV. Like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV. Instagram MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV 1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, adverts and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Matthias Ayo DG. Please continue to be a brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Till I come your way next time.